Hello, comics people! Ako si Mel Casipit and welcome to Indie Comics Podcast. Kasama ko ngayon si Mick Fajardo, si Francis Martilino na nagdo-drawing, and the special guest natin for tonight, Sir Paulo Heras ng Comiket. Siya yung co-founder ng Comiket. Yan. Tapos pag-uusapan natin ang Philippine International Comics Festival, PICOF 2024. Ayan. Welcome to the show, Sir Paulo Heras.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me, IKP.
Ayan. So, ang topic namin for today ay yung PICOF 2024. First of all, congrats, Pau, sa PICOF. Siyempre, nung nakaraang pinag-usapan natin yung PICOF, puro mga online lang muna. Tas ngayon, ano na siya, face-to-face na sa wakas. Ayan.
Oo, maraming salamat. It took the team, the PICOF team has been working very hard, to put up this festival, and in the past 4 years, that every step of the way, even up to the first Comiket, up to the last PICOF, it's all leading to this moment. So thank you to everyone that's been helping build the Comiket and PICOF.
Ayan. Para sa mga viewers na hindi pa ganun ka familiar sa PICOF, can you give us an overview of what PICOF 2024 is all about?
So it's PICOF is the first physical event of the Philippine International Comics Festival. It's the same idea as what we, when we started in 2019 and we said, okay, let's put up the festival noong 2019, and we did a call for entries asking creators if they want to find more readers in a global stage. And at that time, we didn't even know how we were going to go international, but that was the idea, because the strategy really is, the challenge is really to grow more readers for Filipino comics, and that was something that the comics art markets was not enough. I mean, iba yung job ng Comiket na comics art markets. It's really to grow the audiences, grow the creators. Saan natin hanapin yung new readers na yun? From our fellow creatives, our fellow illustrators, and it had a different purpose. It was growing the comics art market. But now, the PICOF specifically is to grow comics readers, comics creators, and it follows the same, parang yung strategy nitong festival is like the Cinemalaya effect. Back in 2005, which I was before I became a comics creator, I was also into advertising and film. So back in 2005, there was the Cinemalaya Film Festival, the Cinemanila International Film Festival. There was the Cinema One Originals. Now they had these film festivals that suddenly provided us a space and gave the filmmakers a chance to produce their own stories. And these films made it to festivals abroad and represented the Philippines, some won awards, and then it resulted in a ripple effect back home that more and more viewers got interested in indie films and started to watch it. And then now, it's kind of normal na for people to watch an indie film na Pinoy. Hindi na nagdududa kung maganda ba, worth it ba yung money, hindi na ganun yung mga concerns on indie films. So we wanted to have that same effect for comics kasi medyo parallel and medyo similar, ang trajectory ng dalawang creative sectors nito. Like, kung ang problema ng film ay distribution, which is like your cinemas, pareho lang siya sa comics and publishing na ang problema ay distribution channels, which is the bookstores, na National Bookstore, and so very similar ang trajectory. Even the mode of production of film, of indie film is independent, and the mode of production of comics is also independent. Diba? So medyo similar trajectory. So we were hoping to have that effect. and we didn't know how we were going to go international. But uh, there were there were creators that trusted in Comiket, and that was the first batch no na nung 2019, and then nagka-pandemic nung 2020, and it affected the community in very different ways. Ang daming hindi na nag-comics, ang daming had to focus on their finances, their livelihood. Yung iba nag-stop talaga. So we just kept on um, doing the festival, and we kept on accepting more batches of the official selection, which is 10 comics pitches that we develop in a creators lab that gets published and then hopefully launched in time for the festival. So we're the only comics festival in the world that does an official selection that we select and that we develop and that we publish. Yung ibang comics festivals, meron silang official selection, pero they get it from the different publishers kasi ang daming publishers, like in France or in France. So yun, that's how it started. When we put up the online festival, dahil kasi walang physical event, it was actually good for us kasi the creators weren't done finishing their books. Naakala namin matatapos yung full-length graphic novel in a year, hindi pala. Some took 2 years, some took 3. Yung iba nga hindi only 7 out of the 10 ng batch 1 are finished. Diba? So so iba-iba yung trajectory, yung panahon na kailangan para matapos yung book. But we proceeded with the online festival, and the moment that we said that we're the Philippine International Comics Festival, we met other festivals like us. So like the Lakes International Comic Art Festival ng UK, the Perth Comic Art Festival ng Australia, Comic Art Tokyo ng Japan, iba't iba. And then we also met other comics creators and publishers, comics publishers from Southeast Asia. And that's how we started to grow our network of comics professionals or comics creators and yun, and then it grew from there. And then the National Book Development Board nag-change guards. Yung National Book Development Board, nung panahon ni Duterte, yung naka-assign sa kanya, yung inassign niya as chair or as executive director, nag-iba. Nag-resign. So biglang napalitan ng bagong guards, and then the new executive director met with all of the stakeholders. So I was in a meeting with Romance Class, with Balangay Productions, with yung Mount Cloud. So pinakilala kami sa new people managing the NBDB. And then we were one of the few publishers that were publishing during the festival. So if you've heard the term pivot nung pandemic, dahil wala ng events, ang pivot namin was to go online. So yung bookstore namin na kakatayo lang nung November, tapos nag-lockdown ng March. So nag-pivot kami ng online bookstore through Shopee, Lazada. Yung workshops namin, we were giving free workshops during the pandemic, and then pati yung comic book creators workshop namin naging online na rin. So we were pivoting online, and then nung naubos yung mga libro namin na binebenta, kasi nagsara si Visprint so with our last money, bumili kami ng mga natitirang Visprint books, and then we were selling it. Nung naubos, yung last money namin, actually yung dalawa lang kami ni Rome na nandoon sa, and I don't think a lot of people know that, pero dalawa lang kami ni Rome na nandoon sa Comiket office na nagbabalot ng libro, nagbebenta ng libro. Nung naubos na siya, biglang hindi na namin alam ko ano yung next step. And dahil nagsar si Visprint, inisip namin, baka kailangan ng publisher dahil kasi nawalan ng publisher. So that's why we started to publish other than the official selection. So na-publish namin si Bambi, yung Doobie-Doo Asks ni Bambi tsaka ni Roland, and then Little Wolf di Kat Sakdalan. Then we published Tarantadong Kalbo, and that's how we became more active as a publisher. And then yun, parang dahil we were one of the few publishers publishing, pinublish namin si Alandal, Twinkle Twinkle, tsaka si Alitap-tap ng Pulang Buhangin. Natuwa yung National Book Development Board sa mga libro, no, sa mga libro namin. And for the first time, na-represent yung comics sa Frankfurt Book Fair noong 2021. So the National Book Development Board has been boothing in the Frankfurt Book Fair since 2015. Pero comics was never part of the book selection. So it's only in 2021 nung sinabi, oy, maganda yung mga comics isama sa ano. So for the first time, there was a shelf, and then isa ako sa 3 tao na pinadala doon para mag-right selling. And that's how, I got into the licensing part of comics, or of publishing. And then we had one of the most leads. So naging mainstay na yung comics sa mga iba't ibang book fairs ng National Book Development Board. And that's how slowly we naging totoo yung international sa Philippine International Comics Festival. Kasi at some point I was saying, nako, ang hirap at ang mahal na maging International Comics Festival. Baka palitan siya ng Philippine Independent Comics Festival kasi wala namang mainstream comics, sa totoo lang. We don't have a studio system that commissions people to create comics for that studio, no? Hindi siya ganun. The mode of production is still independent, and that's why I'm saying it's like independent film. I mean, the funding could come from the NGO or a publisher, but the mode of production of the creator is still very much independent. And you can ask that from all of our published authors, no? The way that I've been functioning as their publisher slash editor slash creative director, whatever title that you give me, I will just give options. I will give feedback, and it's still up to the creators to decide if they want to go to that direction. That taga-turo lang ako na, uy, kailangan to i-develop, or uy, kailangan to sa plot or sa character, kailangan to ayusin. Diba? Kasi the editing part of proofreading, the grammar is kind of basic, no? But it's not as if like the same work that I had as an advertising creative director, na whatever I say will follow. Everything that's in the frame of the TV commercial or in the print ad has to be approved by the creative director, diba? Hindi siya ganon. So it's done na parang with a lot of humility and respect with the creators, because it's their intellectual property. It's not mine, or it's not Comicet's. So yeah, so it was very, very, very different, no?
Ayan.
Ang haba ng explanation.
Oo. Pero thank you for introducing us dito sa International Comics Festival, yung Pick-Off. Kasi nga nung face-to-face to dapat, di ba, nung 2020? Tama ba? O 2019 yun dapat? Pero dahil nga sa pandemic, naging online. And you mentioned earlier, Pao, na na nakakonect ka sa mga international festivals. How did that came to be? Ikaw ba yung nag-cold email sa kanila para or paano siya nangyari? Sino yung nag-connect sa inyo?
Actually, Mel, yung the moment na sinabi na we're Philippine International Comics Festival, lumapit sila. Kasi pag nag-usap kami, pareho lang yung kwento namin. So we found a camaraderie kaagad, na kahit na yung si Lycaf sa UK, ganun din yung problema nila. I mean, kahit na isipin natin first world sila, so dapat parang baka it's so much easier or better, pero they have the same problems that we have. Kulang sa readership, 'di ba, yung kulang sa support, pero ang may advantage sa kanila is may government support yung festival nila. So tayo, kailan lang tayo sinusuportahan? The National Book Development Board only started helping the work that Comicet does nung kailan, 2021, 2022. 'Diba? And it's not as if napupunta sa Comiket yung tulong, no? It really kasi it has to be, it's government funds, so it has to be liquidated. So it's really parang dumadaan lang sa amin pero naka-liquidate lahat 'yon. So it's not easy, but at least may tulong na. Kasi dati I've been trying to work with the NBDB since 2015 and pinansin lang ako nung 2021. So it was only when we became a publisher doon lang sila nagbigay ng tulong. Pero kasi different circumstances, no? Different people, different circumstances, and every time that we work with them, we have to make sure, no, work really hard to show that we deliver results. Kasi the reason why they keep on helping us or we keep on working together is because we have a track record of good work, of good and honest work, no, na may results, no, may results yung trabaho na nagagawa namin. So that's why, yun, tsaka masipag kami mag-apply, masipag kami magtrabaho. That's why, yun, I think that's it. No, we've been, kita naman yung mga projects namin na tinatrabaho.
Ayun. Yun, shout out natin yung mga nanonood. Kanina nag-comment si Tarantadong Kalbo, nanonood siya.
So, hello. na special mention si TK kanina.
Oo. Alden Soronggon. Hello.
Ayun, si Alden. Nakilala namin yan sa Comiket Iloilo noong 2021, tsaka yung Passion Comics, yung Cartilla Comics, and they're coming to pick off. So lahat ng mga na-meet din namin sa iba't ibang Comicets, no, are most of them or some of them are going to be in pick off.
Yan. Speaking of yung mga creators na pupunta, who are some of the most notable creators na pupunta sa Pick-Off 2024?
Nako, bakit ganyan yung description? Baka magtampo pag hindi ko na-mention.
Sige. Alam mo, sino yung mga yung mga
sineset up ka naman.
Nandun na post naman na dito si Ren Galeno, may video siya dito sa page.
Dapat wala ka makalimutan pa.
Ito si yung mga new release, si Ping Sasinan.
Yung kasi everybody is different, 'di ba? So I'm happy that the Iloilo creators are here. I'm happy that RH is flying here to attend. Makiling Comic Collective was yung isa doon, si Albert, was one of the students ng Comic Book Creators Workshop nung batch 7 yata or 8, kabatch niya sina Maria Maranan, and you know, they're based in Mount Makiling in the Philippine High School for the Arts. So I was also very happy that they're there because once upon a time I also studied in Makiling, no? So it's good na it's also good to see mga new or younger publishers, no, that have been growing. So it also comes to show na nag-grow talaga yung comics kasi dumadami din yung publishers. Of course, dumadami yung mga creators, no? Given na yon. And alam naman natin na may mga creators na gagawa tapos mawawala, or gumagawa tapos patuloy na gumagawa, 'di ba? So it's hard to track that. Pero the publishers, kasi the moment na naging publisher ka, na natatrack yung growth ng community din, kasi you have like Kwentun na dating exhibitor lang, tapos ngayon publisher na, marami na silang pinapublish. Same thing din with Kudlis, Mixed Comics also, although they were parang in a web, in a digital platform, tapos naging printer, publisher, so they've always been parang constantly evolving, no? Toto is back, also Silo Publishing. nakakatuwa na maraming dumadami yung publisher para at least mas maraming pwedeng lapitan ng creator pag ayaw nila mag-self-publish. Kasi you always have the option naman to self-publish. Saka lahat naman ng pinanggalingan ng mga creator publishers are started in self-publishing.
Yeah. Yun. Sobrang dami. Actually, may mga international din, di ba? Nakita ko dito. May mga talks na mangyayari. Ito. So innovative narrative techniques. Go ahead, Pao.
So if you yung one thing that Comiket has been operating from the very beginning, we always try to make all of our projects self-sustaining. Kasi naranasan namin ng mga naunang organizers ng Comiket na we didn't even know how to budget for food or transpo for ourselves, diba? So we knew how painful it was to do the advocacy work that we were doing. So naging mindset ng committee at ng board of directors na dapat maging self-sustaining yung mga projects. So yung we were figuring how to make the international part real also in the physical festival. So ang ginawa namin, the anthology, the Southeast Asian Community Anthology, pag napili sila, they have the option kung honorarium or kung a flight to attend the festival and a free booth also. And then the master class will also help cover for their hotel accommodation. So that's how we've been operating, that it's self-sustaining. So even if you look at the comics exhibit, no, it's connected to a book, yung Alamat Origins Anthology. And then the comics market is connected to a book, which is the Cometverse. Although hindi pwedeng ibenta ang Cometverse kasi yun yung agreement with the creator. So it's only going to be given away for free. Ang binibenta ay yung ticket. So that's how we're going to earn, no, from the festival, kasi we already gave a lot of the booths to the Filipino creators for free, kasi yan yung for the first time, no, nakakuha ng event sponsors ang Comiket. So that's why we were able to give away things for free to the things that the festival partners wanted to give, diba? So it started with partial discounts, no, and then nalibre yung mga students and mga regional exhibitors, and then nung pumasok yung isang sponsor na libre na yung booths. So inuunti-unti, that's why parang I had to update all of the exhibitors na may discount na, or libre na, pero please submit your Cometverse entry, please submit your free your donation for the free comics for the grand raffle. Parang ginaganon na lang namin kasi ang iniisip din namin, paano pag next year paano kung hindi na tumulong yung mga tumutulong ngayon, 'di ba? And then how can we, yun yung goal namin ng Comiket board, no, na parang nawala si Mel. Pero yun yung goal ng Comiket board, is to keep the Pick-Off Festival sana for free, no, as much as we can, or yan yung goal. That's why everything that's earned will help try to keep the Pick-Off Festival free for the comics creators, no, if not free, at least discounted.
Question lang with the sa venue. So how paano kayo nag-decide to conduct it dun sa podium, tama?
Oo. Kasi like although even if we do have some festival partners, hindi pa rin niya na-cover lahat ng expenses. So we still have to that's why we're charging tickets at the door, no, kasi hindi pa fully paid lahat. Tsaka magastos talaga siya. But yeah, we chose podium kasi one, Mega Mall is more expensive, no. So but we also we also thought about accessibility. Kasi one thing that Comiket events, when we choose spaces, no, they have to be accessible spaces. Kasi yung para sa amin, no, and it's not, it might not be true to others, no, pero para sa amin, we have to be in spaces where the people are, no, where the people easily can go to, because yun nga parang hindi tayo masyadong binabasa, hindi tayo yung preferred entertainment. So if we're there in spaces that are accessible to the public, then that's how we're able to draw in more people to be interested in comics, no. So that's why yung podium, although it's smaller, no, and it's our first time there, it's still in the middle of Metro Manila. Kasi when we were in Centris, people from the south didn't want to travel to Centris,
North.
no. And then when we were in Makati or Taguig or Las Piñas, the people from the north didn't want to travel that far.
Layo na kasi.
So, oo.
Team North ako.
So, pero if you're in Mega Mall, Robinson's Galleria, Podium, Ortigas area, that seems to be the midway point for people from even Antipolo or Manila are willing to go to.
Oh, may mga terminal dun mga FX.
Oo,
sa Mega Mall.
Yun, and then we didn't expect it to be we didn't expect a lot of people to join, kasi we knew from the Comiket events na a lot of people were still creating their comics, or they stopped comics. So when we started to receive more exhibitors, we had to pull out the master classes and the stage from the comics market area, and then we had to find a different place for the master classes na, kasi hindi nakasya sa space. So yun, so at least yung mga challenges of nag-share na ako ng mga challenges namin.
Magra-rant na si Pao.
But after na lang. The joke lang.
Nakita ko dito yung mga talks na nabanggit ni Pao. Wait lang, nandito yun. Sila Sir Carlo Vergara, digging your well, unearthing your personal catalog of story possibilities.
Gusto ko itanong yung yung sa Pao, yung official selection ng 10 graphic novels. Yan, kwento mo naman yun sa amin sa Creators Lab.
Okay, so the whole idea of the Pick-Off official selection is we choose 10 graphic novel pitches, no, that wanted to go to a full-length graphic novel and to be published as a book, no, through Comiket. When I got to Frankfurt and when I attended international book fairs, na-realize ko na manipis pa rin ang 96 pages para sa kanila. Ang minimum sa kanila would be 150 plus, no, pages. Pero hindi naman pwedeng pilitin yung creators to, if their book is only 96 pages, then 96 pages. But yun, what we did was, when we did a call for entries, we didn't want to limit it to a theme or a genre or an art style. No, there was a pre-selection committee, and siguro it was basis on art style, and the story. Is it something that we would can back up? No, is it for global audiences, or is it very niche? Diba? And yun, we get a lot of applications, pero we can only, actually marami ang 10, no, and ito nga, even just this year na ang daming manuscripts, no, and mag-isa lang ako, so it's really a lot of work, no, and each comic book is very different conceptually, and there's so many different parts, the concept, the story, the art, the author then. So iba-ibang personalities to na iba-iba din dapat ang approach. You cannot have an approach na para kang boss na dapat ikaw yung masusunod. Hindi, kasi hindi mo comics 'yan, 'di ba? So you have to learn how to approach each of the creators so that they would also trust you and believe in you when you give your feedback for their work. It's the batch 2 na nagkaroon ng Creators Lab. Pero the batch 1 were invited to the 5th Comic Book Creators Workshop. So maswerte din yung batch 5 na yun ng workshop kasi nandun yung mga official selection na batch 1. And a few na semi-finalists ng batch 1 na pang 11, 12, 13. Di ba? Parang ganun na hindi nasama sa 10 pero pwedeng isama sa second batch. So nasama naman sila sa second batch ng Pick-Off official selection. It's just that they needed more time to develop their work. No? So yun yung naging we've been doing four naka 4 batches na ng official selection. Hindi ko pa nare-review yung batch 5 kasi we did a call for entries, no? And the difference lang ng batch 4 was nanggaling sila sa anthologies, no? Yun yung time na si Kumu tumulong tapos nagtanong sila anong kailangan ng community. So ang sabi ko, ang daming tumigil sa pagko-comics. Pero marami ring bago. No, you'd see them online, on digital, on the social media. So ang sabi ko, to encourage comics creators to go back to creating or to keep creating, maggawa tayong anthologies. And that's what and that's why nagkaroon ng Rurok, Kilig, Darkness, tsaka Thirsty. Yung Gigil, dapat kasama din yan kaso hindi ko tinuloy kasi hindi dapat ako yung gumawa nun kasi it's a GL. It should be a female creator that should lead it. So na-stall muna yung Gigil until Bunny Loose took it on. So and then dun sa anthologies na yun, sinelect yung batch 4. And may call for entries din yung batch 4. So halo-halo siya ng mga authors na na-publish ng anthologies tsaka yung call for entries.
Ayun. So Pau, nabanggit mo kanina yung sa Alamat Origins Comics Anthology and Exhibit. So paano siya nag-came to be? Sino yung nag-pitch na ma-exhibit yung specifically yung Alamat Comics Group?
Kasi parang ang gusto namin sa festival kasi sana may tribute to one person or group that help grow, develop comics to what it is today. So ang pinili namin was the Alamat comics creators because sila yung nag-umpisa ng indie comics sa Pilipinas. And yun, so linapitan ko muna si Ate Eileen, asking her, kasi I remember nung pumunta kami ni Tepay para bisitahin si Sir Jerry years ago, I think that was 2016, kasi I think kinausap namin siya para mag-submit sa National Book Award for Rodsky Patotsky. And pinagluto kami ni Sir Jerry at ni Ate Eileen ng lunch. Tapos pinakita sa amin yung mga original artworks ng mga taga-Alamat. Mm-hmm. And I think ang pinakita is the Lakan artworks, no? Na recently ko lang na-realize it's the Lakan kasi nag-post si Oliver Pulumbarit ng artwork na yon na parang yun yung nakita ko. And nung linapitan ko si Ate Eileen, sabi ko, kung pwedeng i-exhibit yung mga artworks ng collection ng Comicero Museum para after, i-donate namin yung exhibit sa Comicero Museum para at least pwedeng i-display sa kanila after to also help grow the museum. No? So, doon nag-umpisa and then tinanong ko si Budget kung pwedeng gawin ng anthology yung Alamat Comics if we could bring all of the creators together kasi we knew it was going to be a hard task kasi a lot of the works are out of print and may ibang mga creators hindi na mahagilap. So inunti-unti namin ang co-editor ni Budget si Karen Kunowitz, no, and then lahat ng Alamat creators sinulatan ko ng in-invite. May mga nag-decline, may mga tumanggap, 'di ba? May mga iba kailangan lapitan ni Budget mismo kasi bilang kilala. May iba like si David, hindi siya parang hinagilap din si David Ontiveros, 'di ba? Bago siya naisama. So yun. So and then yung may mga ibang titles nakuha namin from collectors like Jello and Miko. So nagtulong-tulong and then ang second na madugok pag wala ning file tas kailangan i-scan tas kailangan i-clean up, i-reletter. So buti na lang si Tony Buku was part of the Alamat Comics and he's part of the Pinoys and other comics na doon. So siya yung siya yung linapitan din namin para maging book designer and yung layout artist for the anthology. So kung hindi sa kanila, hindi mabubuo yung anthology. And then for a time we were thinking if it was 2 volumes or 1 volume. Kaso sabi ko nung ano na yon na kung ito is-split into 2, masyadong manipis yung isa. So ipagsama na lang as 1. Even if it's more expensive, baka it'll still be cheaper than having 2 volumes if you buy both separately, no? So yun, it's mga 460 pages. And then yun, it's going to print right now and hopefully umabot siya sa festival.
Oo, maraming naghahabol eh.
Oo.
Ayan. So, ang daming dapat abangan ng mga a-attend sa Pikoff. Like yung mga workshops, yung alamat. Ano pa yung iba? Yung what can attendees expect doon sa international creators? Yung mga pupunta na attendees sa Pikoff. Ano yung pwede nilang i-expect?
A lot of the ano ba yung pwedeng ma-expect?
Yung free comics, di ba may free na Comic@Verse Cup sa first ano?
Yes, the Comic@Verse for the first 1,000 attendees ng Saturday and 1,000 attendees ng Sunday get a free copy if they pay a 200 peso ticket. No, so it's a bundling promo. So kung PWD at ginamit ang PWD card, hindi siya talaga recognized for tickets, but we give PWD discount 50% off. So they can pay 100 pero yun na yung promo, no? Walang kasamang book kasi walang free comics yung discounted, no? Kung senior, we also give senior discount of 50%, no? Pero wala lang free comics kasi it's already the promo. The Comic@Verse features 95 creators, no, of 2 pages of Comet in their comics universe. So that's the first kaagad na bawing-bawi talaga yan for their ticket, no? Yung ginasa sa ticket, bawi na kaagad sa 200. And then at least meron na silang pwedeng ipapirma sa mga booths, sa bawat booth, no? Kasi I think most of the creators are there in festival. May mga ilan na wala, like wala si Kadjo, no, he's focusing on Book 9. May iba na hindi exhibitor pero gusto lang sumali, like si Lady Storykeeper, no, so next year na daw siya babawi. So mga ganun. And then so that's one. Second is the programming of the book launches and the book talks. So there's an area by the entrance, no, na nagaganapin yung mga book launches and book interviews, mga book talks, no, so that it's also an opportunity for the creators to show their creative process. And it's hosted by, we have 3 hosts, no, si Paul Gravitt from the UK. So he's been one of the long-time supporters of Pickoff and of Filipino comics, no. So he'll be interviewing, I think, 4 or 5 talks, no. And then we have CT Lim from Singapore. Siya rin yung co-editor ko ng Southeast Asian Community, which took us almost 3 years to finish, no, umabot yung Southeast Asian Community. And si Doy Tano ng Cosmic Cube, he was also part of the Pickoff Festival last year. So we have 3 hosts that aren't just, you know, regular hosts, but because they also get to learn more about these creators that they're talking with, then if they really like what they see, no, because they have a deeper appreciation for the creators, no, they might feature them in their blogs or in their posts or in their YouTube channels. And that is also part of the intention then, na it brings these influential comics people, comics professionals closer to Filipino comics creators. So yun. So we have also Tuttle Publishing that's going to be holding 2 book signings. No, one of their international authors, si Sean Wilson, who was also a speaker in Pickoff, I think the other year, 2022, no, is here, no, and he'll be doing a book signing. And yun. And then the closing of the festival, we're going to announce not just the highlights of the festival, but we're going to announce the grand winner of the raffle draw. So we asked all of the exhibitors to donate comics, and it'll be raffled off at the end of the festival to one lucky winner who will receive over 100 comics, no.
1,000, kala ko 100,000 pesos.
Baka mas mahal pa yung yung comics dun sa 100,000 pag kinompute mo lahat ng libro na.
Tas pag pinirmahan po pa nila, mas mahal na yun.
Oh.
Ayun. Pao, so how do you see the future of the Philippine International Comics Festival evolving? Ano yung plans nyo after this first year na face-to-face?
Well, una, ang hirap pala gawin nito. Since sobrang hirap nito. So, I think after the 5th announcement of the official selection na batch 5, baka pahinga muna ako. So, uubusin muna natin yung 5 batches kasi nga, it takes a while for them to finish, no? But, we hope to make this festival sustainable, self-sustaining. And we want, we've been doing the NGO work since 2015, and we wanted this to be like our gift to the comics community. Na after working for almost a decade, ito yung kumbaga, yung maibabalik din namin sa community na hopefully yun nga, we get to keep it for free. That's the whole goal. And I think we're just really lucky that that the National Book Development Board is worked also on being the guest of honor at the Frankfurt Book Fair. So a lot of the books that are published until next year's pick-off, siguro until July, um, can get featured in the Frankfurt Book Fair, where the Philippines is the guest of honor. And it's such an important event because being the guest of honor is in the oldest and most prestigious book fair in the world is like being Miss Universe, no, for a year, no, and you iikot yan ulit after 77 years, no, bago tayo maging guest of honor ulit. And um the Philippine government always supports international events for different sectors, and like Film Development Council of the Philippines joins Cannes, Venice, Berlinale, and all of these other film festivals. You have there's actually a government agency called CITEM that joins expos to represent the Philippines, no, to induce business, international business. So for publishing, siguro hindi lang sanay yung mga publishers and authors and creators, but it's the first time that the Philippine government is investing in um in books, no, and it's not a BBM Duterte thing, kasi this one is being led by Senator Lauren Legarda. That's her. This is really her project with the National Book Development Board. So it's not even uh, about who was the president that did it, that's supporting it. It's just so happens that we're in the uh, we're in the presidency of BBM, no, but it's not him or his office that is the one that worked to pitch, to fund, to get there, no. So that's one opportunity that Pickoff wouldn't have done on its own, diba? So the work that we do it extends to that. And because of the good work that we've been doing and the good response for comics, biglang nagkaroon ng Angulem. And in the same way for children's books, nagkaroon ng Bologna Book Fair for them. So both comics and children's books are doing really well in those festivals and book fairs, no? So um I'm sorry if I can't give a straight answer because I'm giving you the context of what's happening. So the future for me is that more and more authors, more and more comics creators will be able to travel. Their books will be able to travel, and slowly, like what I discovered in Angulem was Finland took 24 years to get 200 titles translated. So it's not an easy job, but 20 years na chinagaan ng isang uh, literary agent na advocacy niya yun na to bring Finnish comics to the rest of the world. So nakabenta na siya ng 200 titles after 20 years. And um and that's also one thing that could happen to the Philippines, that there are more titles that get picked up. Tuttle already picked up the Arnold Are titles and some of the other comics. Then Ablaze in the US also picked a few, and then now we have more titles that are translated in German, Dutch, Burmese, and Russian, diba? So unti-unting ganon. I think the exposure to international markets, no, will also benefit the local comics community, kasi pag when we talk about indie comics, no, we just look at each other and it's such a small pond, no. So sometimes we grow when we get experience, the more that we experience, no. So those creators that get to travel or get to be translated might get more exposure and might also grow leaps and bounds when they see what's out there and bring that back in. And that's how we have to constantly keep getting better. Kasi just because na translate in other languages doesn't mean that we are in our final form, no, na we are in the best version of ourselves. I think every work is an opportunity to do better than the last, no, as long as you keep on creating. So yun, I see more titles reaching more readers internationally, which also in that effect grows more readers locally. So we've seen Ren Galeno, Tori Tadiar dahil na translate sila abroad or may na publish sila abroad. There is more interest in their titles then. We've seen that grow, no? And it's not colonial mentality, no? It's parang kailangan mag-abroad para basahin. It's not colonial mentality, it's the local mentality na ang pera natin na 500 o 1,000, pareho lang yung nabibili ng local book or foreign book. 'Di ba? So it's the if your local work is globally competitive, then it's easier for readers to buy it. And that's why Fully Book sells more books than the other bookstore, no? Kasi ang positioning niya ay ito yung books of the world, 'di ba? So not all of the Filipino books are in Fully Book, and that's not necessarily a good thing either, but it's it's more on that local mentality, no, na it's your local work that resonates with the world. No? That's why it's not you creating for international audiences. That's or for a foreign market. No, it's your story, that your local story that can resonate, with more people from, and it doesn't matter which territory.
Ayun, sige. May last question na lang. I think may 5 minutes pa. May advice ka ba sa mga aspiring creators? I mean, ano ba tawag dito? Parang advice for interested na creators on kung paano sila makaka-join sa festival and paano mag-submit din ng entry din.
The best advice that I usually give to my students in the comic book creators workshops, or to the authors of Pickoff, or even to creatives that ask me that question on what's the best thing, I would say, be true to yourself, be true to you, be authentic to the story you want to tell, and not on what you think will sell, what you think will win an award, what you think will earn you money, but it really has to be true to you, and making that authentic story resonate with more people. No, I think there is such a thing as what is primal, no, that everybody can relate to or identify with. No, but that would be the one thing that I would recommend. If you're creating comics because you want to be the next Trece, the next mythology class, the next whoever, I would just nod my head, and it's not my place to say don't do that. But if you really have a passion for the supernatural or mythology or folklore, then go for it, diba? But if you're doing something because of somebody else's success, then I would still recommend that you create a story that with something that you're really passionate about, that you really love, because you're going to devote how long? 6 months, a year, 2 years, Treces, 20 years already. Shasha's Return is that long. You really have to love and be passionate about your story, because you're going to devote a long time of your life for it, diba? So if it's something that you think is award winning or best selling or or whatever that motivation that you have that's not true to you, diba? You'll lose steam eh. Pag you see, hindi siya masyadong nagkaroon ng likes or ng benta. And it could discourage people, no? Sometimes it's discouraging na pag hindi nakabenta or hindi na like ng different people, no, like have different measures of success, diba? So that's why if it's something that you're really passionate about, that you truly think that you really have to tell this story, that's something that I would personally like to hear, you know, something that you really want to tell, and that it deserves the attention of not just me but the rest of the world, diba? So mas ganon, no. And also, it could, if you want it to just be fun, then let it be for fun, diba? Pwede naman din. It doesn't have to be so serious then, but it just has to be true to you. I mean, that's the and you can always start small. You can always self-publish. You can always print it in your own printer, print it in a photocopying center. We all started that way, and not all comics need to be published by a publisher. I mean, sometimes it's already enough to post on your social media page, diba? I mean, every creator has his own path, diba? Every creator has his own time. But definitely, if there's one thing that's true to Comiket and to Pikoff, is that we create our own future. No, I mean, if you look at the start, no, of Pikoff, we didn't know where we were going or if that would even be possible. And you know, Mel, we were together in the beginnings of Comiket, diba? We didn't know Comiket would go up to where it is, na nakapag outside Metro Manila, na nagkaroon ng pop-ups, na naging publisher, na naging so that's one thing that's true, that's why we're called creators, diba? I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that we're called a creator, because it really reflects on our ability to create our own future. So that's what I would ang haba pa, ang
Thank
dadako,
you.
no?
Kami ang advice lang namin, drawing lang ng drawing. Ikaw, mahaba yung mo.
Mas madali trabaho natin.
Oo. Ayun, thank you very much, Pau, for introducing us to Pikoff. And sa mga nanonood na comics people natin dyan, Pikoff will be on July 9, 20 to 21. Ito na, malapit na siya. So, abang-abang tayo sa Pikoff. Sa likod lang siya ng Mega Mall, sa podium. Yun, kita-kits tayo doon. 200 pesos yung ticket. And sa first 1,000, may libreng Comiket verse na book. Yun.
On Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
So, Saturday and Sunday. Ayun. Thank you everyone sa mga nanonood. Any final words, Pau, sa mga supporters ng Pikoff, ng Comiket, and yun. Paano namin kayo i-follow sa social media nyo?
Okay. Thank you everyone that has believed and trusted in Comiket and the Philippine International Comics Festival. We hope to do a really good job. We've been working so hard for this. So we hope to see you there on July 20 to 21, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Podium Hall. It's the top floor or the 6th floor of Podium Mall. No, and at 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can find us on Facebook, Philippine International Comics Festival, or Comiket, and we hope to see you there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Comics People. Sa mga hindi nakapag-umpisa nitong live interview, i-upload namin ito sa YouTube ng IKP. Please like, subscribe, share to your friends, relatives, your enemies, everyone, para sumikat yung IKP. Thank you, Comics People. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.